What I do YouTube today, reacting to the breathtaking horrors of the Electric State. Now I heard that this is getting a movie, and I did see some comments saying that the original Electric State is not like the movie. So I'm gonna give my thoughts, and I want to see what the Electric State is really about. So let's get into it.
The Electric State is a beautiful nightmare. I don't know how else to describe it. I could say it's an art book by the brilliant artist Simon Stålenhag that explores an
Oh my god, bro! Look at the ducks. Why are there so many? And why are they so big? And what were they for? Is this like after some kind of like war or whatever?
alternate version of the United States in the late 90s. This is true. I could say it's a story where a young woman and a small robot venture across a ruined landscape littered with the skeletons of terrifying machines. This is also true. I could say it's a poignant warning of how runaway consumerism can have apocalyptic consequences. This, I believe, is true as well. Yet none of these descriptions tells the whole. So, for this entry into the archive, I'll dive deep into this masterpiece of sci-fi world building. And like my video on Stålenhag's other series, Tales from the Loop.
Holy shit, look at that thing. I like how everything else is like sad and detailed, and then like its face. Dude.
You can purchase the art book using the links in the description. Now, let's enter the world of the Electric State.
Jesus Christ, imagine. Dude, imagine, bro, you're walking out, bro, and you see that. I'm done.
The Electric State begins in 1997 with a mysterious girl and a strange yellow robot venturing across the Mojave Desert, moving towards their distant destination somewhere on the western coast. Much of the Electric State is centered around their journey through the collapsing nation, turning the narrative into a kind of apocalyptic road trip. This strange duo forms the emotional core of the art book, the beating heart of a world where everything is increasingly mechanical. On the side of a dusty road in the Mojave Desert, clothes blow from the roof box of an empty sedan. The car's owners are now dried husks, still dressed in their vacation clothes. A portrait of a family.
Oh my god. Bro. That's what VR is gonna look like. We're gonna be fucking having that shit on us all the time.
Vacation gone horribly awry. Virtual reality headsets called neurocasters still cling to their heads, likely the cause of their death. Manufactured by the company Sentry, neurocasters are a reoccurring visual in the Electric State. These face-swallowing devices were designed for military use, but soon became a common household item as people lost themselves within a blissful virtual network. The side effects weren't noticed until too late. More and more consumers never took their headsets off and would wither away into lifeless shells, their mouths sometimes still moving as if trapped in a dream.
Starts behind the eyes, goes behind the head.
My head is just getting tighter.
The concept of people losing themselves to a simulated nightmare is mirrored in David Cronenberg's Existence, a sci-fi horror film that, despite being released in 1999, feels painfully modern. Like the Electric State, Existence is an unsettling meditation on how technology shapes and manipulates human beings, where virtual reality offers no salvation but oblivion. And in the Electric...
Oh my god, look at them! They're just fucking skeletons. How they had to be there for like years.
State, the neurocasters prove to be quite literally apocalyptic. The exact cause of the neurocasters' malfunction is unknown, but there are rumors that in connecting so many brains through the headsets, an intercerebral intelligence emerged, a hive mind with an agenda of its own.
I feel clear-headed again.
Finding a car and beginning a long drive across California, the girl and robot witness the surreal wreckage of a collapsing civilization. In one image, huge yellow ducks rise from the sand like bizarre monuments, their bodies riddled with impacts from large caliber rounds. It seems the region was once some kind of shooting range, although it has long been abandoned. Elsewhere off the highway, a giant metal mascot erodes away into a metal skeleton, its pained expression frozen in a permanent smile despite the devastation surrounding it. How the animatronic reached its resting place is left ambiguous, although the framing of the image makes it seem like this machine walked here on its own. In a dusty town emptying of people, another machine sits in silence, its body a nightmare of tangled wires. There's a fascinating incongruity between the extraordinary Goliath and its ordinary surroundings, a fundamental incompatibility that evokes a strange sense of loneliness. Yet at the same time, there is something undeniably threatening about these childlike and cartoonish machines that seem to appear more and more frequently as the girl and robot creep ever closer to their destination. In these illustrations, Stålenhag proves himself an expert in the uncanny, creating machines just abnormal enough to instill uneasiness. Where these machines came from and what they truly are is a mystery that can only be solved by venturing deeper into the electric state.
Wherever you are this summer could be a very cool place.
Advertisements also loom large over the electric state. In one snapshot from this post-apocalyptic road trip, an immense inflatable sun smiles and throws up a peace sign in bitterly amusing dissonance to the end of the world. In another, a giant heart-shaped mascot rusts under the California sun, promoting financial solutions for people with terminal conditions. The macabre juxtaposition between the upbeat marketing and grim subject matter is a repeating motif.
Really watching this lets me know that something like that thing could be listening to me. That thing's listening to me. Like, a lot of things are listening to me. And I feel like artificial intelligence will really be like the death of us, honestly. And like, I feel like a Skynet might happen. I hope it happens I hope it happens after I die. Just say that.
Throughout Stålenhag's illustrations of advertisements, a reflection of a culture that pretended everything was fine until it was too late. On a passing billboard, a slogan proudly proclaims that Neurocasters win both design awards and wars, showing that warfare is seen as just another opportunity for marketing. And given the devastation the Neurocasters caused, there's a grim, unspoken implication that this advertisement would have been taken down if there were anyone left to do so. Where the electrical grid still functions, gargantuan towers of corporate logos overshadow the homes of residential neighborhoods. These literal monuments to suffocating commercialism cut through the fog, with Stålenhag's exceptional eye for atmospheric lighting making the scene particularly melancholy. Cities like this echo the visuals of sci-fi films like Blade Runner, whose iconic setting is similarly awash with neon light from skyscraper-sized advertisements. There's an undeniable familiarity to these striking visuals. The invasive billboards of the electric state in Blade Runner are exaggerations, but not by much. Across the US, how many landscapes are clogged with a mismatch of commercial signs? How many major cities overload the senses with a...
Whoa, that's... Dude. When you put it like that, it's like... they're everywhere.
blur of fluorescent advertisements. The United States that the electric state depicts is a nation seen through a cracked lens, where the specifics are distorted but the overall impression remains uncomfortably close to reality. One piece of media that can help us better understand the electric state's relationship to reality is the sci-fi pixel art game Norco. Released by indie developer Raw Fury in 2022, The melancholy point-and-click adventure takes place in an alternate version of Norco, Louisiana, where advancements in robotics and industry have created a land of desolation and alienation. The urban sprawl of real-world Norco has been shaped by the petroleum industry and has twice experienced catastrophic explosions, events that the game feels in painful conversation with. There are moments where the pixel art fades into live-action footage of the region, blurring the line between fiction and reality. Like the Electric State, Norco's vision is both unfamiliar and recognizable, a long-lost acquaintance you come to recognize the more you speak with them.
This advanced technology helps to diagnose arthritis.
But to effectively relieve the minor pain of arthritis, use this.
As the girl and robot continue their journey, they spot crowds of people wandering through fields, the red glow of their neurocasters like giant, unblinking eyes. These silent masses seem to no longer have...
Whoa. Whoa. That's it. That's scary, bro. All them out in the ocean, bro? Wouldn't their neurocasters, like, destroy themselves because of water?
a will of their own, having themselves become drones piloted by a mysterious intelligence in the mists of the western coast.
Oh, they're like soldiers, bro. Damn.
They work to assemble a disturbing new class of machines. Glimpses of these monstrous mechanical beings appear throughout the Electric State. In one piece, a smiling face peers out from the darkness of an abandoned barn. Something about the image pulls you in, making you curious about what the rest of the creature looks like. Later in the Electric State, we get a better look at these incomprehensible beings. A titanic drone looms over a parking lot, its face and raised arms scavenged from an old advertisement animatronic. Bundles of cables pour from its head like the tentacles of an octopus, spilling down to the ground. A crowd of Neurocaster-controlled onlookers watch the tentacles slither across the asphalt and into a parked minivan, witnesses to some dark ritual. While these monsters of wire and steel are nightmarish, there is a quiet awe that some of these pieces evoke, like wandering into the forest and coming face to face with a gigantic animal. Witnessing these beings can instill a kind of dark wonder in the viewer. The term eldritch comes to mind, a word used to describe something otherworldly or incomprehensible. In this regard, these beings are reminiscent of the unfathomably vast, shambling terrors glimpsed in films like The Mist, which instill a similar mix of dread and wonder. Stalinhog also experiments with light and condensation in many of these scenes, creating portraits that feel like you're looking through the rain-soaked window of a car. The blurred light imbues these otherwise unsettling scenes with a kind of nostalgia, bringing you back to a time spent looking out the car window as a child, watching the world distort through droplets of rain. In scenes like these,
That
it
is
almost
so
seems
beautiful.
like if you shut your...
That's actually like so smart and like beautiful, dude. That's like actually like awesome. That's awesome, bro.
eyes, the apocalyptic devastation will fade away. A massive Neurocaster network tower casts red light into the fog like a grim lighthouse, making this region feel all the more like a gothic nightmare. Yet perhaps even more notably, this section of the Electric State is set within Marin County, California, the same region as the 1995 sci-fi horror film Village of the Damned. Directed by John Carpenter, the film tells the story of a group of creepy children with creepier haircuts, who are connected to each other via a hive mind. A remake of a 1960 movie of the same name, both stories explore the loss of humanity to a collective intelligence, a concept that is similarly central to the Electric State.
Your family could take advantage of this exciting new world, like ours has.
The mechanical infection in the Electric State takes another, less perceptible form. Yellow service robots waddle across the roads as the girl and robot drive onwards, hauling massive cable rollers. These machines spread a dark network of signal wires across the United States, connecting more and more regions to the Neurocaster hive mind. In the snowy mountains, massive spherical buildings serve as local hubs for the Neurocaster network, their sides still plastered with advertisements. Millions of interconnected minds bounce around inside each hub, the power required to keep them trapped in a digital fantasy melting the snow. While Neurocasters never flooded the consumer market in our timeline, there was another network of interconnectivity that became massively widespread in the mid-90s.
The net can entertain you, transport you to far-off locations, help your children with their schoolwork, and make working at home easier.
The internet and the Neurocaster network reflect each other, with both connecting people in incredible ways and leading to serious, unforeseen consequences. When viewed through the lens of the internet, the dark network of the electric state feels uncomfortably familiar, with stories of people losing themselves to a blissful oblivion and becoming dependent on a digital net taking on new meaning.
Why, you can even plan a family adventure on the net.
Hey!
At various points in the electric state, the girl and the robot make rest stops much like one would on any normal road trip. Like real-world liminal spaces, these near-empty parking lots and motels have an unsettling quality that is hard to place. There's a sense of time crawling to a stop in these illustrations, which don't require mechanical monsters to be unnerving. Yet these narrative breaks also give the storyline a chance to breathe and deepen the viewer's understanding of the protagonists. The more you follow the girl and the robot on their journey, the more you empathize with their characters. Stalinhog does an outstanding job using the minimal text and subtle visual cues to demonstrate the bond the two have, as the world around them becomes increasingly dangerous. In one of the most memorable points of the voyage, the girl and robot drive past a forgotten war memorial, a hillside ravaged by bombs.
There's a war? There was a war that happened to this? Oh, shit. But going into this together, like, I thought that it would be a human and a human, not a robot and a human. Because wouldn't the robots want to take over the humans? Someone tell me what's wrong with this robot, please. I'm sorry.
In one of the most memorable points of
Y'all would know this more than me, that's what I'm saying.
the voyage, the girl and robot drive past a forgotten war memorial. A hillside ravaged by bombs emerges from the clouds. Two gargantuan military vessels simply called drones sit in silent vigil atop the hill, a class of machines that played a huge role in the backstory of the electric state. While in the present of the electric state, drones are little more than bloated metal carcasses, these machines once spearheaded the nation's military. In a nameless war, these unmanned vessels fought each other in a strategy game played out over 7 years. Though the drone technology was praised for preventing meaningless loss of life, the collateral damage was catastrophic, not just in terms of civilian casualties, but in terms of unforeseen technological consequences. For the drones were controlled by pilots wearing Sentry headsets, with the war spurring the invention of the Neurocaster technology that would eventually go on to doom the nation it was supposed to protect. It's difficult to convey the sheer power that Stalinhog's art gives these machines, which feel so enormous they become part of the landscape, looming in the distance like artificial mountains. In one image, a drone seems to have been converted into a makeshift dwelling, with a Californian flag and string of laundry hung from its side. Once trophies of victory, these colossal wrecks are now bitter consolation prizes, a painful reminder that though the nation won on one front, the triumph came at the price of losing everything to a mechanical nightmare. There is another narrative hidden within the electric state. Running parallel to the story of the girl and the robot is a fragmented storyline of a mysterious agent who seems to be headed towards the same location. While their true mission doesn't come to light until the final pages of the electric state, the agent is a source of constant tension, as they seem to be on a collision course with our protagonists. In the last stretch of the electric state, the girl and the robot arrive at an overgrown childhood suburb that has fallen to ruin. In this final section, less and less text accompanies the images, with the breathtaking scenes speaking for themselves. On the side of the road, two figures shamble through the night like nocturnal animals towards the warm light of a distant window. At this point of the electric state, it's difficult to tell if they're people wearing neurocasters or entirely mechanical beings. Bird-like drones called scrappers pick through the remains of this coastal wasteland, laden with bags and bundles of cables. These artificial vultures work tirelessly to collect mechanical parts, perhaps for themselves, or perhaps for something else. Above the overgrown lawns of decaying houses, more colossal beings stand in silence, their dominion over this region absolute. In these suburbs where families once lived, machines are now born from twisted, giant fetuses. There's a sense in these images that the plague of machines has become a critical infection, and nothing will ever be the same. Yet the electric state is more than just a story about hopelessness. Even at its darkest moments, there is always a faint glimmer of humanity, a spark of compassion kept alive by its two lead characters. And everything builds to a resolution that I found at once both unexpected and perfectly in tune with the theme Stålenhag had established throughout the rest of the volume. While I don't think I should give away all the specifics of the electric state's final pages, if you'd like to know more, you can check out the book for yourself. In the end, the electric state is quite literally a story that's as much about the journey as it is the destination. What at first seems like an almost alien world over time develops into something uncomfortably familiar, as the parallels between the electric state's timeline and our own become more.
Bruh. Now I want to know what actually happens, bruh. Bruh really just edged me like that, bruh. He literally like just edged me. He edged me, bro. That's what I'm saying, bro. He edged me. That's what I think. The electric state, bro. Yo, if y'all really do want to see me look at what the electric, like, y'all do want to see me look at like the entire story of the electric state, comment down below what you want me to, if you want me to, and I'll definitely get back to you, bros. Thank y'all so much for watching, bro. Thank you so much for seeing this, bro. Comment down below what you want to see, and I'll see y'all, bro. This later, man. Peace.
You hold me close, I ride away, my